Wow. Hello from Elvis. What's my hair doing? Hello guys and welcome to Cut and Eat. No. Is it? Okay. We're good. We're good. But hello and welcome to another video. It has been a really long time since I posted a video, but I'm so happy to be back with another sewing video, and thank you for being here. Today I'm gonna be sewing my first vintage pattern, which is this pattern I bought at the charity shop, and I'll be sewing it with the most beautiful fabric, which is this celestial print, kind of dusty rose cotton, which I thought was very appropriate for the night dress I have in my mind. I have this night dress in my mind that is like whoa, 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 the kind of night dress I imagine myself walking in the fields of Italy with, you know, at night with my husband, having a romantic time. So without further ado, let us get into sewing once again. Let us do this. I'm nervous. I'm nervous because I haven't touched my sewing machine in the longest time, and I'm like, do I even know how to sew anymore? I don't know, but we are here, we are doing this. Alright, so the reason why I chose this project was because the Dawn jeans traumatized me and I wanted something easy and breezy. I started things off by ironing my lovely fabric to ensure that I would cut it accurately. Once the fabric was ironed nice and beautiful, I proceeded to trace the pattern, because tracing patterns is what I do because I respect my patterns as much as I respect gluten. Halfway through tracing, I realized that the pattern had already been cut out, and so I was like, oh, okay, no more tracing for me, praise the Lord. However, the pieces were cut for the shorter version of the pattern, so I went ahead and measured my sticks so I could roughly estimate how much extra length was needed for what I had in my mind. Then it was time to take my whole 3 meters of fabric to my tiny table and pin the patterns, mark the extra length, and cut. Guys, in my last video I was complaining I don't have scissors, and then I got 2 scissors as gifts. So, you know, ask and you will be given. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Hannah. Wow. That is a difference. Boom. Boom. At this point, everything was glorious. The scissors were cutting the fabric like there was no tomorrow, and I was enjoying the most glorious weather known to man. I have to say, this weather reminds me of my first YouTube video that I did when I was doing this trench coat. It is glorious outside. Spring is coming and I'm feeling so happy. The cutting is almost done. I just need to make a ribbon. They said buy a ribbon, but I was like, no. I'm gonna make a ribbon. Thrifty and frugal Alexandra here in the house. For the ribbon, I tapped into my inner Hulk and ripped the fabric because I was too lazy to cut it. Yeah. The ripping wasn't such a good idea as it pulled the threads, but nothing a little bit of ironing couldn't sort out. Okay, so I'm gonna fold the ribbon in half, right sides together, and I'm just gonna go ahead and make a ribbon. Feeling so nervous. It's been such a long time since I've sewn something. Here we go. Hello darkness, my old friend. Oh, I'm not excited about this. Now, I kid you not, flipping 2 meters of ribbon inside out took about 30 minutes of my life. It was so frustrating, but thankfully I was being entertained by a FaceTime with my sister, so that helped. Okay, so the ribbon is done. And you know, I'm gonna call it a night because I've worked really hard today. I have cut fabric, I did a bit of sewing, you know. I feel like I deserve a break from sewing already. But yeah, I think it's getting quite dark here. I like to film in natural light because I feel like that's when I look my best. So I'm gonna call it a night here, and then hopefully tomorrow I can crack on really early and, you know, continue my project. But so far I feel like I've achieved so much today. Alright, so the next day I started things off by reading the instructions so I can prepare myself mentally for what was ahead. The first step was to measure out some bias binding for the sleeves and the neckline. The bias binding would later serve as channels for the elastic and the ribbon to go through. Then I embarked on the most relaxing sewing experience of my life. First step was to join the front pieces together, leaving a little gap at the chest for the ribbon to go through. Okay, progress is being made. We have a front. It looks like a tent, but that's okay because we wanted baggy, goody, vibey. I don't know what I'm saying, but we wanted but that's okay because we wanted like baggy kind of vibes. I don't understand the gap here. I don't understand what's gonna go on with that, but I'm trusting the process. And I'm getting Italian goddess vibes. Taking those good vibes with me, it was time to press the seams flat. This is the kind of step I would have skipped a year ago, but now I know better. Then it was time to do the same thing with the back. I love this part. Honestly, there was no stress. The whole process felt very repetitive, which allowed my brain to finally switch off and enjoy life. I have to say, I'm enjoying how easy this pattern is. It's just really nice to have repetitive steps. And sometimes you just gotta pick an easy pattern and give yourself a win. And this feels like a win to me because I'm like, I know what I'm doing. There's no drama here. There's no stress here. There's no zippers. There's no buttons. There's no pockets. It's just a simple dress, and I am here for it. Now that I had a front and a back, it was time to attach the two pieces together at the sides. And you guessed it, it was time for more pinning, more sewing, and more pressing. Then I moved on to the sleeves. I first identified where the bias binding had to go and then pinned it in place. Then it was time to sew the bias binding on both sides in order to form a channel for the elastic. The pattern didn't really say how much elastic I needed for the arm, so I just went ahead and measured roughly how much elastic to cut. It was then time to feed the elastic through the channel, a process which I'm pretty sure will give me arthritis. It was time for a well-deserved lunch break. This ham, cheese, mustard and pickle sandwich was impeccable, and I tried to have a pack of crisps with it, but the crisps did not want to have me, so that was that. Once I inhaled my lunch, I went back to finishing those puffy sleeves. Guys, so this morning I was telling my husband how like I'm making like a night dress, and he was like, is it like a sexy night dress? And I was like, not really. And then he came into film and I saw this and he was like, I definitely know a sexy night dress. We'll see what we get. We'll see what we get. It's the sexiness underneath that counts. Am I right? Alright, let's move on to the sleeves. Feeling very unsure about this project, I decided not to give up and attach the sleeves to the dress. I was just holding on to hope that this would not be a disaster. Here's me flipping the sleeves inside out and realizing that indeed this was gonna be a disaster. I have to say, I'm beginning to doubt whether this is gonna look good. It's huge! Yeah, it is very huge. Like, look at it. Alright, so for the top of the dress, it was another case of creating a channel with the help of bias binding, but this time the elastic would be replaced by ribbon. Now, inserting 2 meters of ribbon through that channel accelerated my path to arthritis and death by boredom. And then it was time to put the dress on. Oh Lord. Oh my god! Oh well, I was not expecting this. I don't know what I was expecting, but I was not expecting. Yeah, I was not expecting this. I mean, is it a fail? 100% fail? No. But is it a roaring success? No.
I think you need to give it a spin.
That was a moment and a half. I definitely didn't expect this to look the way it does. I love the fabric too much to let it go to waste. So I've decided to turn this into a series. I'm gonna leave the video as it is for now, but come back next week and see how I turn this disaster into something a little bit more modern, a little bit more wearable, a little bit more me. I'm gonna have a go. We'll see what comes out. So come and join me next week. I hope it's not gonna be another fail. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for having some fun with me while I'm learning and discovering and experimenting with sewing. Wishing you a lovely, lovely day. Bye.